and I'm going and I'm speaking to research institutions. That's who I'm speaking to. And I'm speaking to 4 and 5 people, I'm speaking to 10 people, and I'm speaking to staffs. I'm not speaking because they realize that there's some gift going on. Evidently the gift is to, because they did their research, to resist this system and to explain to them who is who and what's what, because I look at it like we're on the same team. Plus behavior and all of that, so that's pretty good. But then there's a shift. The last few trips I was there, they trying to challenge or find holes in it. And I said, no, I ain't no hole in that, I'm sorry. And this last time on the JPC or whatever that was, I told them, I said, that's a good idea. You just go and sign the thing with them and then double cross them because they're going to double cross you. There's nothing you could do about it. There's nothing you could do about it. Absolutely nothing. And you got to remember, 10 years ago, that was in April of 2011. This is about 10 years ago. The whole outline of we had built up from there will be no Arab Spring. When was there Arab Spring? The middle of it, when they're supposed to have the rebellion. It comes in on February the 11th, same time as the revolution was. And that's when it's supposed to pop up real big. It's all arranged. I said, that's all arranged. Muhammad Al-Asi and Masood Chajari called me from Tahrir Square around that time, and they told me, no, why they calling me? They calling me. I didn't say that it won't be no Arab Spring, and they calling me to tell me it is an Arab Spring. Well, why you calling me to tell? I ain't told but a few Negroes that it wasn't no. How y'all hear about it anyway, right? It ain't gonna be no Arab Spring. And they calling me to tell me it's happening. We're in Tahrir Square. You can hear the noise right now. So it don't make no difference what's going on. Just like I told the brothers that you might probably see, or I hinted to some of the ones on the news, like our other brother, and the brother came over here a few months ago after. The whole thing was, did you see the faces of those wonderful young people? They're talking about white people. You got to remember, I'm talking about some of these people. What was the white boy that's on RT? He played like he was a Muslim for a while. Stone was his name. Huh? Something like that. Oh, the guy on the TV, my friend. I'm over there before. I got to go somewhere now, because this brother has accepted Islam. And he loves Imam Khomeini, and on and on and on. I looked at him like, hey, shit, excuse me, you must be drinking. Excuse my expression. You can scratch that off I know you can't scratch. But I'm saying, what? As much knowledge as you have about these people, here you're, and then, not that just because I'm black, and when a Negro accepts Islam, great for you, good for you. Boy, you're going to be all right now. But when white folks, this is not Shias or Sunnis, this is all of them, right? All of them. What? It was a couple of people over here talking about. Anyway, it's a long story. So I said, basically, so what? And then I have mentioned to them, you guys cannot act like that with white folks. I said, number one, white folks not going to respect you. And here we are looking at you like you're crazy. All black people know that they might be around today or tomorrow, but if any heat comes, they're going, unless it's their job. Look at who they got now. Myra Van Houten, Care, Abby Martin, them, because I was investigating them, and I liked she was breaking the thing, you know. I liked, but they got their whole crew. The way I look at it is that's their damn crew. And that's what they told the Iranians, because she was inviting the guy, I'll show it to you later. She invited the guy, she was interviewing this guy. There's a new book on Iran something or other. No, this is about, it might have a little bit in it. This guy wrote a book. If you see any book with in the last couple of years about Iran, and the guy, I'm telling you, they've researched now, and they know about Iran. And they recite back, here's where they have a problem. All the horses and all the king's men can't put Humpty Dumpty back together. All of them all together cannot come up with a simple thing like, remember 10 years ago too, it was, wasn't no Arab Spring, and it's gonna be a regional, I don't know if it's gonna be regional. Whatever happens in that area, it's gonna be regional. That was 10 years ago. That's 10 years ago. And I outlined what the steps was gonna be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it'll be victory. Okay. They can't all, see, I'm listening to them now. They can't touch it. They cannot touch it. Okay, here's the thing where Iran made their mistake and where they are vulnerable if they keep it up. They're vulnerable to Parliament having this issue, that issue, and not having the priorities hooked up, or the Majlis. They're vulnerable, and you just saw it the last 2 punches with the white folks. I didn't have anything to do with JPOI, whatever it was. Nothing. Nothing. Okay. But where's Imam Musa? All the program, you would be shocked if you would realize, even if I was driving to one of our programs, the car would stop. When I send my family back, then the car would start up, and I drove to Kansas City Airport, you know, and then I flew to it because we was going to go by the Grand Canyon and all that. So we left several days ahead of time. But I went on and got out to the program. Plus, I couldn't bring all the books and all of the pamphlets that I had because that's spreading. See, they don't control, even if they have tables, right, and they got a lot of people trying to do you in, they can't do everybody in. Example, in the 2004, 5 and 6 period, I would have all of those CDs and some DVDs, and the people would come and buy them and da-da-da-da-da. And so everybody would have access to it. After a while, they come through and take them all. They take them all. How much? Okay. Now, if I wasn't watching, I would think, oh, they just love me and my talks, which one of them they do love. But after you watch for a few years with longevity, then you go to the one we went through the other year, and then a couple of ones, the one when I got busted upside the head and I'm and all of those, then it all falls into place. That's what longevity, you know what I mean? It falls into place, and you see, and what is it that when you don't find not one Iranian, now don't forget now, of course, we got all the blessings. We have nothing to cry about at all. But 96% of our problem, of course, white man was already watching us, but comes from Iranians. If I'm going around, if I'm the best one out of all of the people, and the only one that's not cutting their throat, right? Then, if the FBI agent Old Daly come in 87 to the Masjid in Oakland, so I could tell you, I said, just get your butt out of here. Get on out of here. He ain't said, he just turned around and started walking the door. I just want to, in case Rafsanjani, I said, what do Rafsanjani have to do with me? So what he was trying to, just in case anybody tried to get you to do something, we just didn't want you to do it. I said, man, you must be crazy. And I got him outside. I'm talking about dope and everything. And you'll think we are involved. And I said, yeah, I was in that. Remember what I was in? That's what I was in. And then before that, something came up. And that's 87, so I hadn't been out several years. They actually said, we're proud of you. Because ain't nobody else that stayed out that long. There was a dope dealer and a big one. Because they can't do it. You can't, you know what I mean? You can. But once you done tasted all the power and the money, the notoriety and all of that, you're almost going to die in it. All of my friends, they got one friend of mine, just this old folks law, the new old folks thing, they just let him out. His hair is pure white, and he guided his son, brought him in the car, but we was all big way back then. We was the first big crew. And he became a Muslim, but he just couldn't do it. I mean, from right away, I see him at the house, and then the next thing, he's in jail. And I took my sons with me when I was in the San Francisco County Jail. They said, Dad, he looks tired. We were still young then. I said, yeah, it's 18 years. He's looking at 18 years, and he's probably going to do them. He knocked them 18 down and came back and got some more. And finally, he was in this time, because you feel like you gotta have it. Okay, so the FBI, no, we're proud of you. I say y'all ought to be. You had dope people coming, some coming to the front door, then some coming to the back door, one saying, we got just what you need to build all the mosques you want. And then at the back door, the guy is saying, hey man, I need just what they gonna give you at the front door. They're not saying that, but that's exactly the way it's happening. And they figure you gotta fall for it. And I'm telling you, dear believers, we had a chance from this period of so-called wandering in the wilderness, from 70s, mid-70s to the end of that 5-year period. I got a chance to do and misdo everything. So by 1980, I said, I ain't doing nothing. I don't want nothing. This is what I'm doing. Because I done had a chance to get out and do Islam 75%. Boop, right back. It ain't gonna. Then I get another chance, and now, shoot, I'm pushing 85%. And it ain't nothing wrong. Boop, right back. For no apparent reason. And you saw what they said, that letter I had in 81, We don't want you doing that. We don't want you doing that. I was kiss my behind. So when I came out the last part of the early part of 81, I was fixed. So it was, I mean, since then, no. I don't do that. I don't care what you say. I am not even dreaming about it because they bring you your old dream. You want to organize all the Negroes in the United States and be the big coordinator of all of that. Got that covered. I don't want it. So, because you can't have me feeling the way I feel right now. You don't have it because you don't feel that way. And you don't have nobody in your administration. You don't have nobody in your government that feels the way I do now and been feeling ever since I started doing right. So that doing right means that the gift of doing right, you improve. Because every time you improve a little bit, you can see the results somewhere. You can feel the results. So eventually, I'm going to get to say a word that's straight and what I meant by that instead of all this background. Okay, but I'll try to speed it up. The word, speak a word straight, is strategic openness. When I go to California, my friends my friends, I'll call his name so you see I'm serious. It was George Cooper and Jesse Lee. George Cooper had been my best friend since 57, something like that. We just hung around together, We used to run in the hills. When I came home, I was a weightlifter, and they was boxers. So we'd go in my car up to the hills every morning and run and do that. We was that way. But I was black orientated, and the people, this is right in the middle. If I come home in 65 and 66, you know what I mean? And nobody never even seen a Nation of Islam or, well, they had seen a few, but they wasn't popular and they wasn't doing it like naturally and not, So can you imagine a Negro at that age, 20-something years old, don't drink, don't smoke, don't do nothing, don't eat no pork, and even as a vegetarian, you know how many vegetarians it was in